check this out. I'm prompting my agent to show me that it can grab a gun using right controller and shoot a target. Did you see that? AI coding tools can now see, navigate, and interact with your running VR application, and this is huge. You no longer have to build the application, put it on your headset, and test it by yourself. Instead, you can ask the agent to do the initial screening, and it will see and understand your application. It will run, rebuild, and verify any errors that are present. All this is now possible because of Meta's new tool called as XR Operator. Here's a comparison of the workflow before and with the use of this new tool. Alright, now I'm going to show you how to set this up, but make sure to watch till the end because I'm going to talk about some of the limitations that this tool has. To get started, you need to have these 5 boxes checked. You can check the first 3 boxes simply by downloading this Git repository and opening the project. The starter project uses Unity version 6.3.20 F1 LTS, and it has been set up with the latest version of Meta XR Core SDK, which is 2.5.0.0, and also the latest version of OpenXR plugin, which is 1.17.1. Now, if you're watching this video sometime in the future, then make sure to check their documentation, see the minimum version that's required, go back to your project, select the package, navigate inside version history, and update it to the latest version that's available to you. Next, you need an MCP compatible AI coding tool such as Claude. There are a ton of tutorials online on how to install Claude Code, and you can use those as reference to install it. And you'll also need an active subscription to use it. Now, to quickly check if you have installed it properly, you can navigate inside the project folder, open the terminal, and type Claude. It'll first ask you to grant permission, and once that's done, you should be able to see the tool running. Now, if you run into an error like this, it means that Claude is not added to the global path, so make sure to do that. The last thing you need is the Meta simulator. You can download it from Meta's website, the link is in the description below. And once you have it installed, you can go back to your project and press the play button to test it. And this is how the simulator will look like. Alright, now it's time to set up the XR operator. In your Unity project, navigate inside Meta, Tools, and Open AI Tools. Step 1 is to select your service provider, and you have these 4 options: Claude, Gemini, OpenAI, and OpenCode. And in my case, I have Claude Code, so I'm going to select that. Step 2 is to install and set up AI tools. So here you can click on Install MCP Proxy button. Then you can either copy this and run the command by yourself, or you can simply click on Run command here and wait for it to connect. And once that's done, you can activate the XR operator. Alright, what we set up right now is the XR operator. It gives your agent eyes and hands, so it can take screenshots of your running application, it can read the room, press a controller button, look at objects and things like that. And that's how it verifies its own work without you having to put on a headset. Now on the right side that you see here is the AI agent bridge. Now this is nothing about seeing your application at all. It's about connecting the agent to some of the diagnostic tools like Runtime Optimizer, Immersive Debugger, and Hands Optimizer. Now these tools already existed. They've been a part of Meta XR SDK. The problem was always that they hand you a wall of numbers and you need to know what to do with them. So this bridge is a pipe that sends the data to your AI assistants and it brings back some recommendation. Now if you closely look at this command over here, you'll see a remote server. What this means is that you can connect your headset to Unity Editor over local networks. And what this means is that it isn't about running inside the simulator, it's receiving real-time device data. So you can use XR operator like a QA tester where it can run the application inside the simulator, find out errors, fix them. And for the final testing, when you put on your headset, you can also have the AI bridge in place, which will be a QA tester who also profiles. Now for this video, you don't actually need the AI bridge, but it's just 2 clicks away and it's reversible. So there's no real reason to skip it. So you can click on Install AI Agent Bridge. And once that's installed, you can run the command as well. The next step is to configure Windows Firewall. Now this step is optional because you don't need it for the local desktop workflow with the MCP proxy that we just installed. You'll need it when you're testing it from your MetaQuest headset, and also when you're connected using the AI bridge. But assuming that sometime in the future you will be using this connection, we can go ahead and configure Windows Firewall as well. The next step is to install the project level skills so that your AI assistant has some guidance on how to use the XR operator. And based on the assistant that you have chosen here, the skills will differ. So all you have to do is click on Install the agent skill in the project. Now, to check if the MCPs are actually connected, you can navigate inside the project's root folder where you'll see assets, packages, libraries, etc. And from here, you can open the command prompt. And here you can type Claude MCP list and press enter. And here it should show that the Meta XR operator is connected. and the Unity runtime, which is the MCP bridge, is also connected. By the way, you can get the full Git repo with all the scripts and all the resources for free, not just from this video, but also for the videos from the past and the videos that are coming in the future. Just click on the link in the description to grab your free resources and add your email ID. So now, instead of building from zero every time, you can grab what's already done and keep moving forward. Alright, now we can actually test the connection and see if it actually works. So you can close this window, navigate inside Window, Package Management, Package Manager, select MetaXR Core SDK, navigate inside Samples, scroll all the way down and import the sample for MetaXR operator. Once that's done, you can close this window and then navigate inside Assets, Samples, MetaXR Core, the version, MetaXR operator. And here you'll see two samples. You can choose any one of them. I'm going to choose CubeShooter and open the version that's not broken. Next, open your terminal and launch your AI agent, which in my case is Claude, from the Unity project's root folder. Now, the most important part here is that the agent can reach your application only when it's inside the play mode or when it is running inside your headset. So let's go back to our Unity project, press play, and this will open the simulator, which I will put it on the side over here and keep my terminal on the left side. And now we can ask questions like, what's the current XR session state? And here you can see that it has called the MetaXR operator and given us a response that it's currently in the focus state, which means that the app has an active OpenXR session that's both visible and receiving inputs. Here we can also instruct it to do something like, for example, grab the gun using right controller. Now, one thing I forgot to do is to change the mode. So it's going to ask me a question every single time. So for now, I'm going to select yes and don't ask again, and then immediately change the mode from manual to auto by pressing Shift plus Tab. Now here you can see that the controller is moved from this position towards the gun and grabbed it, and now it is verifying it. And in about like 2 minutes, it has successfully grabbed the laser gun and it's under control. Now let's assume a scenario where you want to test and see if shooting the targets will increase the score. So we can instruct the AI to do the same. Now it's going to take some time for this to test it. So I will see you once that's done. There's something that you'll notice immediately when you work this way. There's a long pause before the agent does anything. And that's because it thinks and then it acts. And that thinking time gets long when it doesn't know anything about your project. So when it's thinking, it's opening files, searching for names, guessing where things live. It's not solving your problem yet. It's just figuring it out how your project is put together. And here's the frustrating part. It does that every time. Close this session, come back tomorrow, and it starts from zero again. All the context built up, gone. That's what skills are for. Ask your agent to go explore, try things, and write down what it learned. It's already doing that exploration anyway. You're just telling it to keep notes instead of throwing them away. Then you read what it wrote, fix what's wrong, cut the noise, and add the things it missed. And every time it learns something new, you add it back in. That's the part I want you to take away. The agent doesn't get better on its own. It gets better because you're building up its notes. On day one, it's like a new hire fumbling around your project. And in a month, it already knows where everything is. And that pause before it acts gets shorter and shorter. Alright, so in about 7 minutes, it was able to point the gun at one of the targets, shoot it, wait for it to respawn, shoot it again, and verify that the score is increasing from 0 to a certain number. So what are the next steps? You would prompt your agent to explore the project and write a skill. Here's a prompt that I'm using. It has 3 phases. The first phase is to read the project when it is outside the play mode. It's going to map the structure of the scene, the prefab, the C# script, and makes note of them. And then it's going to stop and ask me to press play, because remember that the agent can interact with your scene only when it's inside the play mode. So after I press the play mode, I'm going to type playing, and then it's going to go move around, try out different interactions, and make note of that as well. And then the final stage is to write a skill where it's going to cover all the points that I mentioned here. And finally, there are some guardrails. Alright, it took about 12 minutes for it to explore the project and write down a skill. Now I'm going to close this session and start a new one and give the exact same prompt as before and see if there's any difference. Alright, so here I have a new session and I'm going to give it the same prompt as last time, which is to grab the gun using a right controller. And now let's see how long it takes with our new skill. Okay, so it was able to grab the gun in about 1 minute 30 seconds compared to previously, which was about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to give the second prompt as well and see how long this takes. Alright, it has done testing it and it looks like it has done much more work in the same amount of time as compared to before. Earlier, it had just tested for one particular type of target, but this time it has tried it for two different types. Apart from that, it has pointed out two more points that are contradicting itself from the notes that the AI had written previously and asking us to correct it. Now, before we end this video, I want to talk about some of the limitations with the setup that we have here. The first limitation is moving targets. The agents are too slow for real-time interactions. It only works with static or deterministic scenarios. For example, if you have a cube moving at a varying speed, then the agent might not be able to shoot it. The second limitation is subtle visual bugs. The agent tends to assume it's correct until something's obviously broken. And that's because it's able to take screenshots only from a particular angle, so it might look visually correct, but in reality it could be wrong. Alright, and that's it for this video. If you found this video to be helpful, then make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.